specifically with him.
Yeah, no, you still have nothing specific.
All right, so why are you upset then?
Because of the...
Well, what did I say that was a lie?
Everything, Martell. But you're a liar. And I expect that from you.
Okay, I mean, you more than a liar than I am. You more than a liar than I am. But guys, we're saying this without...
And scene. They were acting, y'all. They're actors. At this point, Ariane has told us, Stormy has told us, Martel has told us, Funky Dineva has said it. They're confirming that the Scotts are actors, specifically Marceau. And if this is a fact, why are they on a reality TV show? Because according to an interview that Letitia did with Carlos King, he said the reason why he chose Marceau and Letitia is because everybody, every couple in America could relate.
Who were chosen based on the structure of the household, because even with my own parents, my mom was a housewife for all her life, and my father was the breadwinner who worked, and I knew what that was like for her, and issues that happened in her marriage with my dad. So you two represent a lot of people, and I give you two the utmost credit.
Letitia reminds him so much of his mom. Their situation reminds him of his mom because his mom was a housewife. And I'm assuming, I don't know if his dad treated his mom the way Marceau is treating Letitia, but that's the reason why Carlos is able to coddle Letitia so much. It's because she reminds him of his mom, y'all. Makes a lot of sense as to why they're able to get away for 6 seasons with not telling their real, authentic life. Why it is that when Letitia is confronted by things that's happening in her life in real time, she's able to run off the screen and not work for her check. But she's able to come to reunion and air out everybody's dirty laundry, do the very thing that she don't want anybody doing to her. She's able to sit on her high horse and talk about people's addictions, talk about people's infidelities. Hell, approach couples that she just met and ask them how they're dealing with their infidelities and how they overcome some things in their marriages. People are supposed to answer to her, but she's not supposed to do her damn job. I remember when the makeup artist or hairstylist Alonda, if y'all remember, she was on the scene with Mel. Apparently, Alonda was being rumored to be Marceau's side chick. And I remember instead of them waiting on the show to air, they talked about it on their Instagram Live. What does Project Tish do? Not only did she throw up the fact that Martel was cheating on Mel and that Martel was riding around in matching BMWs with Ariane, she also went to bloggers around this time and released their tax information. Now, that's a conversation between Marceau and Martel at that time. So not only do y'all know that he's a liar, y'all also are playing tit for tat with the blogger.
And they go send it to this person. And I'm like, no, why are you, verbatim. I said, man, you're a bitch for sending the blogger my tax information.
There's not a soul alive that can ever say, hey man, Marshall String Tisha posted on IG. I don't use it to handle business or flex and see what I'm doing. Nah, man, it's not my thing. When Martel got on this nonsense.
Brings me to my next point. When Kiki told y'all that majority of the cast members have their selected few bloggers that they deal with, they're just smart enough not to tell, she wasn't lying. You see it in the defense of Martel right now online. Who's speaking up on whose behalf? Funky Dineva is speaking up on Letitia's behalf, and Tasha K is speaking up on the mistress and Martel's behalf. Y'all were so mad at Kiki when y'all have been playing the blogger game.
Everybody was together. Marceau and Tisha decided to take to social media, and Marceau wants to put out there, what if there's a video of somebody's mom? And I'm like, really, Marceau? First of all, you're doing what you do best, which is lie. But secondly, why do you even feel like it's okay or appropriate for you to say anything about my mother? No, but don't let me put out one of the tapes for you. Now that would be an issue.
I have to add flashbacks for the people who are just now watching Love and Marriage Huntsville and trying to keep up with the drama. Because for the new watchers, they'll get confused, especially with not knowing what all was happening on social media around this time. Yeah, Letitia ran to a blogger and put out tax information on Mel and Martel. Now, my veteran watchers, remind me, was this Letitia's response to Mel knowing that Marceau had cheated with Alonda, allegedly? Or was this in response to the 20 women comment that Martel made? The way it was done, they began to talk to the bloggers and put out information about Mel and Martel. But in the same breath, Letitia is going to these same very people, asking them, what do they know about Marceau cheating? Why would Martel say such a thing if it's not true? Then she got mad at Mel because she wouldn't reveal what she knew about Marceau. In response to Mel's silence, the same way she was silent when she knew that Coleslaw was invited to Atlanta trips with the guys. How she knew that Marcel was sliding Ariane, well, Coleslaw, some money to get her car fixed. Let's keep it all the way 100. If Mel really wanted to embarrass Letitia on that level, she wanted to tear down Project Tish's marriage, she would have done it by now. Mel gave her grace.
Get to what I feel needed to be addressed. I gave your ass grace.
Getting to the comments that Funky Dineva made. Funky Dineva feels like the millimeters had came at him and said that he was biased because he had a relationship with Letitia and Marcel. But prior to that, what he's not telling y'all is that he had an interview with Mel. During that interview, Martel was calling consistently. What am I saying? The actor Martel, y'all, the actor Martel had called several times during that interview, so much so that Funky Dineva had to turn his phone off. The same way he called Ariane over 50 times when she wouldn't answer her phone. No, the same way the actor Martel went in a rage with Marcel when they had their falling out and started harassing him with phone calls.
Okay. But where did they come from, though?
Because I don't want harassing phone calls.
Yeah, I mean, y'all stop doing that.
Yeah, so I
It ain't like I just wake up in the morning and be like,
harassing phone calls.
it's not like I'm texting y'all out of the blue. It's about the same thing your wife would.
These folks can really play some characters, y'all. Shows style and spirit. Her video is titled Funky Dineva Speaks on Melody and Millimeters. I'm gonna tag it in the description box so that y'all can enjoy her commentary as well. Again, we don't do any gatekeeping around here. Do check out her commentary because she was the first one I saw talk about this. And she has the snippets of what Funky Dineva had to say. I take issue with a couple of things Funky Dineva said. Now, keep in mind, this is the same guy that interviewed Melody Holt a few years back. And during the interview, as I stated, Martel continued to call. Same guy that outed Ariane, okay? And provided her some tips as to how she can navigate her being outed on social media and how she can monetize. In the same video, advised Letitia that Marcel was next. Also, keep in mind, he's the same guy that gave Ariane the nickname Coleslaw. Do remember him saying that Letitia's husband was next. Why? Because he believed the character that Marcel was playing on the show around that time. Said maybe Marcel did cheat, but at least he's smart enough not to embarrass Project Tish on national TV as Martel did. Although he has not embarrassed her with a mistress, he definitely have embarrassed her on other levels. I'm gonna act like Martel wasn't the one that brought this to the platform in the first place. He the one who told us that Marcel had cheated with 20 different women. Followed it up with, I can make a couple of phone calls. To be quite honest with you, we really didn't need Mel to tell us anything. We could clearly see that there was something going on amongst the men on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Honestly, I wouldn't be speaking so soon about him embarrassing her with a mistress because if you're a spiritual person, you know and understand what's happening in the world right now. We are in the age of karmic. We are in an age of truth. Things swept under the rug will be exposed on a major level. Although he has not been caught. Like, we don't have tangible evidence, even though we had a picture of his bag. There's been so many comments under my videos on TikTok, on YouTube. People from Huntsville is saying that they know somebody that either dealt with Marcel because he's going under a different name. Let's start there. They're saying that he's using different names when he cheat, allegedly. And then I did a video on that. Y'all might want to check it out. I might tag it. But either way, then also we have out here outing other people for cheating. Martel, Ariane, and now Kiki and her husband. And then they also wanted to get into the Fletcher's business, right? And when I say they, I mean Project Tish is coming. And this is why I always say, don't put your mouth on people's situations. You know, especially if you ain't never been through it. If you ain't never been through infidelity in your marriage and had to fight and stay and figure out a way to make it work with 4 different children, if you didn't have to deal with a narcissist, if you ain't never had to go to court and fight for your kids, do y'all know how scary that is? Because I love y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all, I've been through that. It was very difficult. I feel like the reason why he said half the things he said is because he know that Letitia get ate up in the media. He needs somebody to represent her.
Upcoming commentary, Bell Collective, DR Jackie, and Married to Med NTD Jakes. Subscribe to the channel now.
Social media, and she called her the post queen, all while knowing that she was the one that ran to a blogger and released tax information on Martel and Mel. Now, they denied it on the stage, but y'all saw that scene where Marcel admitted that Letitia was the one that was doing these things. That's the problem that we have with Project Tish. Project Tish.
Call me sweetie. Remember, see, that's what I'm talking about. You do the, don't do this, but then you do it.
You know what? This is not, although he hadn't been caught, his day is coming. Rest assured, it's coming. So although Funky Dineva, he's respectfully cheating on her, allegedly, it doesn't mean that he hadn't embarrassed her on a different level. That's what we're tired of. Watched her mommy podcast with Carlos King, and she said at one point they wanted to fire her. She said Carlos said he wanted to give her the pink slip. The production and the showrunners, because she wasn't giving nothing in the scene. She said that she was so hesitant to talk because of her speech impediment. Makes sense as to why Marcel and Letitia feel like they have to play a character on Love and Marriage Huntsville when there's so many other shows that they could audition audition for, like Sisters. We call 50 Cent because we didn't sign up to watch reality TV and get a whole damn lie. Well, how are we supposed to know as viewers? How are we supposed to know as viewers that they decided to act as a character on the show and we supposed to not take everything that they say serious because they're acting? Speaking of which, somebody came in my comments and I told them I would talk about this. They said that we should boycott OWN network, y'all. To be honest, it don't sound like a bad idea. And I know that this may financially hit Mel, and that is not my intentions. Can't say that it hadn't been on my mind because here we are watching this stuff unfold about Martel online. And Marceau gives statements on behalf of Martel family members that's siding with Martel and saying that we are trying to put black men in jail and that Mel is bitter. This because this been his rhetoric, this been his narrative for a very long time. Although there may be a gag order in place for him, even with the gag order, he's able to send messages through Marceau, his family members, and bloggers. And we ain't heard a damn thing from Carlos. Shout out to Wednesday Talk. She made a video about a day ago and she talked about how she felt like this wasn't pertaining to the Revenge P. This was pertaining to Martel breaking a court order to not contact Mel in reference to anything other than their children. If this is true, I believe it may have started with that live that Mel did when she mentioned Martel. Do y'all remember the latest live that she did with Jay Taylor? Did it for Mel. I think that he continued to call her profusely because he was upset with what she had to say about him, trying to get back with her on live. I really feel like that was the nail in the coffin. I guarantee you, if Carlos really wanted to air Martel out, I guarantee you he would say the same thing. That Holatel do him the same way when he get upset. Again, Holatel told us he don't care who you are. He's going to air you out, which is why a lot of my subs want to boycott OWN network. They want to specifically boycott the show. At this point, Carla's silence is so loud. So are y'all feeling like y'all want to boycott OWN network? And if so, how do y'all think we could go about doing this? Because I am tired. I'm tired of the gaslighting. I'm tired of the manipulation. I'm tired of the acting. I'm tired of the lies. I'm tired of the abuse. I had already said that I wasn't going to review the show in its entirety next season. I was just going to, whatever blows up on social media, I'll just be sure to inform my audience of it. But as far as I'm probably not going to watch it as consistent as I was. Now that I know that they're acting, no need to. I definitely want to hear back from y'all on how y'all feel about that. Do y'all feel like y'all want to boycott? And if so, in what ways would you support Mel? I know that there's a lot of male supporters in my comments. One suggestion was to buy up her products. And I said, well, she has another show. We could always support that. I can't wait for it to drop because I definitely want to review it. Know that Project Tish and Side Chick Kim want to be the top dogs on this show. They want Mel's position. However, they cannot handle criticism on TV. I honestly feel like the reason why Project Tish and Side Chick Kim don't want to tell their whole truth is because you know how they responded and how they did not support Mel when she was going through it. Although Mel showed up for you when you beat cancer. So that was a slap in the face. Project Tish, when she got mad at Mel because she didn't want to reveal information that Martel had told her or things that she witnessed about her husband, then she threw up Slurry. How Slurry had a matching BMW. Stayed with her husband even though he had a baby. Why she was so emboldened to say that is because of the reviews that Funky Dineva had put out around that time. If y'all can remember, Tasha K had came out with a podcast a while back. It was about 4 years ago. Her, Storm Monroe, and Funky Dineva sat on a panel, played a leaked audio of Slurry, and reviewed it. It was around the time that everything had came to a head with the Slurry situation. And she was deciding to stay with her husband, or she was trying to make a decision to stay. And once they came back for, I forget, I don't know if it was the second season. It was a season where Mel was pregnant. It was around the time that Mel was trying to consider giving Martel another chance. The time that he was begging for her forgiveness on that hospital bed when he was going in for knee surgery or something on his foot. Folks gave Holatel so much grace, saying that he was raised by a single mom. It was a full-out attack on Mel, saying that she was trying to depict herself as this strong entrepreneur black woman on national TV. The interview with Mel, Funky Dineva said himself, he said it to her face, I lost respect for you because you were keeping whole Martel around knowing that you could do better. Granted, your feelings is your feelings, but I just personally feel like if you've never experienced something like that, you don't know how you're going to respond. People can sit on these podcasts. I can sit behind this mic and say whatever about what I would or wouldn't do. But honestly, you really don't know until you're in that predicament. Then she has decided to divorce this man, move on. Offered for them two to go to counseling, even though she knew that she was completely done with the marriage. Asked this man for alimony, child support, any of that. She simply asked him to show up for their children. Martel used Slurry as his mouthpiece to go talk to bloggers to leak audio about Mel's business, personal business. Talk crap about their children. Curse Oprah Winfrey out. About the revenge piece. So for some of these people to come out and say that they feel like Mel is bitter, are you serious? Some of these same people have been harassed by whole Martel. Let's keep it 100. They're just trying to protect his image in the public. Thing said is my own opinion, my views, and my thoughts. Really contingent on the characters that these people are playing on the TV. Surely we're not even talking about real people at this point. Funky has a right to not like Mel. It may be something that he know about her that we don't know. But to then say So Messy, aka Marceau, isn't the same person on TV that you see in real life. It's a bit gullible in my opinion. What I've learned about them two on TV is they only cozy up to people that they can get something from. How do we not know that they're just only being nice to you and portraying themselves a certain way in front of you so that you can get in front of your camera and say the things that you just said? Tasha to say that whole Martel isn't the person that Mel is trying to paint him out to be, that he's not domestically violent. A bad taste in my mouth. Seeing that Messy Soul himself has said that whole Martel is very different, very aggressive around Slurry. Just Messy Soul, but also Straight No Chaser, who was once friends with Slurry, said that there was times where whole Martel may have put his hands on Slurry. I don't know if Mel is going to listen to this, but I know that this is a spiritual warfare that she's fighting right now. Whole Martel don't have a soul anymore, y'all, in my opinion. And I don't mean to be dark, but to me, he don't have a soul. And the dead giveaway is his eyes. When you look at that man's eyes, it's empty. Because when Mel left, we talking spiritually. When Mel left, so did his soul, his spirit. I know there's a gang of people that's going to come out and defend whole Martel, but there's too much evidence out there against him about him being aggressive, him harassing her, him following her around, popping up at places that he shouldn't be, violating court orders that he put in place, not to post to kids, and here it is, Slurry posting their children for content. Trying to figure out what else do y'all want from this woman. Martel make it so easy to build a case against him because he's so full of rage. He don't have emotional control. Usually when a person is bitter, they do the things that whole Martel does. So now y'all are projecting. Kind of pissing me off because it's dangerous to allow somebody that's delusional and as rageful and dangerous as whole Martel. It's dangerous to allow him the space to feel like he's right when he's wrong. That's been his problem this whole time. Nobody holds him accountable, not even his mother. I'm going to end it with this. If I was Mel, Psalms 91, 7 days. The slander and defamation is coming. I told y'all in my last video that people were going to blame Mel for all of this. That Martel, I said specifically whole Martel was going to do this. He is, but he's using other people's platforms to do it. In closing, if these people are going to continue to act on this show, I don't think that they have a place on reality TV. I think that they can go. I think that they do deserve their pink slip. I think that, whole Martel, he has to learn his lesson. Because if he don't, it's only going to get worse. And nobody wants to see anybody get hurt. So let's use our platforms to encourage people who are in domestic violence situations to leave. Let's encourage them to look for the signs. Because all he's doing is using Slurry as his talking piece right now. And she's going to do it because she's under his spell. Problem is for whole Martel is we're not under his spell. So he can't pull the wool over our eyes. I predict that there's going to be something that's going to happen in the near future. I would say the next 10 to 30 days. Something that nobody can excuse that whole Martel will do. And then people will begin to realize that this man is off his rocker. But it shouldn't take something crazy happening for us to get to the point to where we hold this man accountable, take him off our TV, and stop giving him a platform. Not mentally sane, in my opinion. No one is safe around this man. Y'all are saying that this woman is bitter, but she's having to walk around with a bodyguard at work. Ask yourself why. Y'all are saying she's bitter, but he's the one calling her over and over again, talking about everything but the kid. The same man that showed up on set with his old wedding band. I don't find that strange. I don't find it strange that Martel referred to he and Melody as a unit. 3 or 4 years of divorce. I might find this cute, but it's so not cute. It's actually pretty pathetic, and it's dangerous, and it's sick. Supporters, how are y'all feeling? Are y'all feeling like y'all want to boycott on network? How do y'all feel knowing that Project Tish and Messy Soul has been acting this whole entire time, including Martel? Feel duped? Let me know what you think about Funky Dineva taking up for Project Tish and Messy Soul. I think he's biased. I know that recently Funky Dineva fell out with Claudia Jordan, but at least we know a little bit of what's going on. What do y'all think his problem is with Mel?